What's poppin', my Pokemon trainer friends and family all over the world? Welcome back to another Pokemon adventure. Now today, I am going to showcase the Ionic Cup tournament that I was in for the Border Warriors PvP. And this is the team that I was running. So right off the bat, this is my Electron choice, the good boy, the MVP, Dedenne. I ended up choosing Dedenne because you guys already know, if I can run it, I'm definitely going to run it. And it was the bulkier, I think it's the bulkier of the Electrons. I think Ampharos might have been second. Oh no, Minun. I think Minun and Dedenne are like around the same sort of bulk. Minun might be a little bit bulkier than Dedenne, but I had to run it. You guys know I love it. And this is the one that I caught. This is my rank 35 Dedenne. I think I caught this one during the first event when they unlocked the shiny. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it, but you know, it's all good. And now for my Neutron choice, I ended up choosing Umbreon as my Neutron because it's Umbreon. I mean, come on. It's a tank. Umbreon is just friggin' tanky in Pokemon Go, and it was really good. It put in the work, and this one, they're the IVs. This one is my rank 3 Umbreon. So up against the mirror match, I should be winning the mirror match up against any other Umbreons. Even if we CMP tie and they beat me at CMP tie, we should still be able to outbulk them. And there's actually a crazy matchup between, I think, Beedrill, which is right there on the screen. Beedrill is my Proton choice. And I mean, you have to run Beedrill for the Ionic Cup. Beedrill was almost like a necessity. Actually, I think the Shadow Beedrill was a lot better than the original Beedrill, but I went with regular Beedrill because it still put in the work. But I did still go with the shiny, or my Shadow shiny Politoed. And back to the Umbreon that I was talking about, there is a crazy matchup between, I think, Shadow Beedrill, who's supposed to win, up against Umbreon. But because my Umbreon is so bulky, I think we end up outbulking the Shadow Beedrill. I think that's what it was, which was crazy because normally, at least on paper, we're supposed to lose. Umbreon's supposed to lose up against the Shadow Beedrill. But I guess because of the IVs that it has, we were actually able to win. You'll see that later on down the line. But I am running the Shiny Shadow Politoed with Earthquake on it. And I am, of course, running the fat, black, Alolan Raticate. And this one was so expensive. This cup was a very expensive cup. They should have just called it the expensive Stardust Bankrupt Cup, because I used a lot of Stardust for this Alolan Raticate because it's purified. Even purified, it costs a lot, because you did want to run Return on it. It's getting stabbed with Return. I mean, you could have also run Hyper Beam on it, but it does get to Return a little bit faster than Hyper Beam. It's getting Stab, and you guys are going to see just how good it is. We do run it a couple times in the tournament. And then, of course, you guys know I'm going with my starter, Blastoise. Well, this is the clone Blastoise, aka Thorchick. And the moveset you do want to run with Blastoise is Water Gun, the poor and terrible Water Gun. And then, of course, Hydro Cannon with Skull Bash. And yeah, that is a team that I ended up going with. Skull Bash, I think we'd use it a couple of times, but I think the better Skull Bash user for this tournament might have been Lapras. But Blastoise does have Hydro Cannon, so I mean, yeah, it was a tough decision. I ended up going with Blastoise because it's Blastoise. But that does round up the little team that I ended up going with for this tournament. My Electron, my Neutron, my Proton, and then my wild cards. But alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, enough with the chit chat. Let's jump into round one. Let's hop into these battles and fight. And we catch an amazing lead, our Beedrill onto his Fairy Dedenne. And my opponent does swap in their own Beedrill, and I bring in my Blastoise. So my opponent is getting hard countered here. Well, not very hard counter. Blastoise is supposed to beat Beedrill in this matchup, but it's not like a dominating matchup Beedrill is still able to fight back with that Poison Jab and Drill Run. So here I'm just going to let Blastoise go down. That way I can use my shield on my Beedrill when I bring it back in, and we're actually going to be able to get a whole bunch of energy. That way we can threaten whatever they have in the back. Because Beedrill is just very beast in this meta. And now you can see my opponent's team there on the side. Their team of 6, my opponent's name, and their ranking in the Silph arena. Now here I'm going to go for the return. Do they shield it up or let it go? Bang. My opponent actually lets the return go through, probably thinking that it was a crunch bait. And we almost one-shot that poor Dedenne. I'm sorry, Dedenne. I love you. I really do. I swear. And now my opponent is running a crazy shiny lineup. I'm wondering if his entire team was shiny. I'm pretty sure it was, because they have now the shiny Quillfish, and they also have the shiny Dedenne, which I'm very jealous of, to be honest, because I wasn't able to get one myself. And I'm just gonna go straight for the Drill Run, take him out. We take battle number 1, and we're gonna go into battle number 2. GG's, homie. Well played. And jumping into this next battle, we catch a mirror match on the lead. Beedrill versus Beedrill. Shiny Beedrill versus regular Beedrill. Now here I am going to go for the X-Scissor bait. Does my opponent want to shield this up or let it go? They shield it up. Now here I am also going to do the same. I got to shield it up. I got to respect the Drill Run. But they also bait me. So now I am going to go straight for the Drill Run. But we CMP Tie. So now I use up my second shield. But they double bait me. He double baits me, but I'm not going to bait. Do they want to shield up or let it go? They actually shielded up. So now my opponent is going to be able to outpace me, so I actually swap into my safe switch Blastoise, but they answer with Dedenne, and this is not looking good. This is no bueno for Chuck. We can still survive a discharge here and get to the Hydro Cannon, and this is going to do a lot of damage to Dedenne, but it's not going to take it out. So now they have energy, and what I'm going to do is just bring in Beedrill. Hopefully I can, you know, Poison Jab it down, but unfortunately we're not. We're not going to be able to. They take us out, and I bring in the Alolan Fat Rat. But things are not looking good, guys, because that Beedrill is definitely farmed up on energy. They might, yep, I knew it. They were going to be able to get to back-to-back X-Scissors. We're still going to be able to survive because Alolan Raticate is just very tanky. But we're just so low that there's just no way we're going to be able to take out the third Pokemon, whatever Pokemon it is in the back. And it's his own Blastoise. Shiny Blastoise. See what I'm saying? He's running an entire shiny team. GG's, homie. Well played. And jumping into this next battle, we catch an Umbreon versus Beedrill matchup. Now, this is not too bad. I think Umbreon still beats regular Beedrill, which is just crazy. That just goes to show you how tanky Umbreon is, because Beedrill's doing a lot of damage with the Poison Jabs and also super effective damage with the X-Scissors. But because Umbreon is just such a tank, we can actually start outpacing Beedrill like we just did there to the foul play. Now they are going to... I think I showed up here. No, I let it go through. And we're still able to take an X-Scissor and get to a foul play. So I'm actually going to hit him with this foul play and then dip myself. I'm going to switch into the Fat Rat. We're up on shields. And I'm going to shield up here, I think. Definitely got to shield up that Hydro Cannon. And I'm actually going to be able to overfarm a lot, get to back-to-back crunches, and then this should be enough to either KO or get it low enough that we can KO with the quick attacks. But yeah, we take it out. They bring that Dedenne back in, and now here I am going to bait, because now my opponent knows exactly how much damage their return can do. So I actually bait, and we take their final shield, and now... this is just pretty much GG's. We're going to be able to take this dub. They go for the play rough. They should have baited there, but either way, that was a good shield on our part. I had to respect it. And then we take them out with the play rough. They bring that Beedrill back in, so I bring in my own Beedrill. We can actually take a Drill Run from Beedrill at this health range, at full health. And I'm just going to be able to get to the X-Scissor, and this is definitely going to be enough to take out my opponent's Beedrill. We lag. Dun, 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 dun. Bang. 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 GG's, homie. Well played. And we actually win round 1. So GG's, homie. Well played indeed. And now jumping into round number 2 up against Renton. We're going in with Umbreon and we catch a pesky, cute little Munchlax on the lead. Now, this is not good for Umbreon because we're both pretty tanky. This is like the tankiest battle you guys are ever gonna see. It's tank versus tank, bulk versus bulk. But unfortunately, if I remember correctly, Munchlax does win the Umbreon matchup simply because it's bulky and Tackle did get a buff, so Tackle is doing a lot more damage and it's getting stab with that damage. And it also has, Body Slam. So, yeah, Munchlax definitely does win up against the Umbreon matchup. So we're actually just gonna, actually get to a last resort at the last minute. Yo, I didn't remember that. That was fire. That was fire. And see, but normally I think Munchlax is supposed to win that matchup. And it might be the IVs on my Umbreon, because you will see even up against the Shadow Beedrill, we're supposed to lose that matchup, and I think I still win it with my Umbreon. I don't know. We'll see later down the line. But that was crazy. That Munchlax matchup was pretty crazy. So now we got another Beedrill matchup. Beedrill versus the Shadow Beedrill, and this is just no bueno for Chuck. I'm just going to let my Beedrill go down. That way I can bring in the fat black rat is back, baby. That way we can get ahead on energy. And I actually shield this up, which is a good call because it does a lot of damage. But Renton has a Beware in the back, and I absolutely hate that Pokemon. I brought the Beedrill for that Pokemon, but my Beedrill did go down. So we're going to get super powered into the Oblivion, and bang, 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 actually get taken out in battle number 1. GG's, homie. Well played. And now jumping into this next battle, we catch a positive lead. Blastoise up against the Shadow Beedrill. And this is a really good matchup because we're doing a lot of damage with the Water Gun. I still feel Water Gun needs a buff. It doesn't do as much damage as Dragon Breath. And I don't know, I think it needs a buff. Now here my opponent swaps into Luxray, and I wasn't even able to get to the Skull Bash before they got to the Psychic Fangs. So here, does my opponent want to shield up or let it go? I mean, yeah, they shield up because Luxray is just very, very glassy. But it hits very hard, and I think it wins a lot of CMP ties. So we do still got to be careful with Luxray. Now I am going to go for the X-Scissor when I should have probably just gone for the Drill Run, but we still take out that Luxray just because Luxray is just so glassy. And now here I go for the X-Scissor. I don't know if I would have made it to the Drill Run. I mean, I think I could have made it. I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comment section below. Do you think I would have made it to the Drill Run there? I'm not sure. But I go for the X-Scissor either way. And things are not looking good because my poor Dedenne does not want to go up against that Shadow Beedrill. I'm just going to let this go because I need to save my shield for whatever they may have in the back. And it's a Raticate. So things might be looking up if I can play this correctly. I go for the Play Rough, hit him. And I don't know. This was just, it's going to come down to a CMP tie because I'm pretty sure the Beedrill has a lot of energy. But what I'm going to do here is completely Thundershock down the Raticate. And we CMP tie, and his Shadow Beedrill actually beats the Dedenne. Oh, man. That was such a good game, too. GG's, homie. Well played. Crazy CMP tie ending. GG's. And now jumping into the final battle up against Renton, I am leading my shiny Shadow Politoed, and we catch the Luxray on the lead. Now, at first glance, you may think, whoa, that's not a good lead. But I did run the Sims for this matchup. I know how it turns out in the one shield. So here I am going to charge up to the Earthquake and bait with the Weather Ball. Does my opponent respect it? They do. So we get the shield, and then of course I am going to shield as well because I know that Politoed, Shadow Politoed, wins the one shield scenario up against Luxray. So I'm actually able to get to the Earthquake, and either we're going to take the last shield or we're going to take him out. So we take him out, and they bring in the Shadow Beedrill, but I have Blastoise in the back. So things are looking good. Because Blastoise is supposed to beat Shadow Beedrill. I think both Beedrills, regular and Shadow. And now he swaps into the Alolan Raticate and I answer with Dedenne. So things are looking good. I'm going to go straight for the play rough. I'm not going to play around. I'm not going to bait. Do we take a shield or do they let it go? He lets it go. And now I am going to shield. I am going to shield because we know exactly how much damage Return does. And I am going to Thunder Shock down the fat black rat. The Beedrill comes back in and I'm going to go for this discharge, take the last shield. And because we got extra farm off on the Alolan rat, we're actually able to get to another discharge before my opponent gets to a charge move. Bang. 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 GG's, homie. Well played. But Renton does take round 2 because they go 2-1. We go 2-1. GG's, homie. Well played. And now jumping into round number 3, we're going up against Smalls G87. And we catch a negative lead up against the Shadow Beedrill. Now, at least on paper, this is a bad matchup because Shadow Beedrill is supposed to beat Umbreon. But Umbreon does beat regular Beedrill. Now, my opponent does swap into Shadow Drapion, which is a nice pick. And I'm not going to lie, I hesitated on the switch. I hesitated to switch. I should have easily brought in the Shadow Politoed because we could charge up to the Weather Balls pretty fast. But I hesitated. So I let my opponent use up their energy and then I bring in the Politoed. I think even Beedrill is a good matchup up against the Shadow Drapion. I don't remember anymore. I'd have to run the Sims again. But if I remember correctly, I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section how that matchup does play out. Regular Beedrill up against the Shadow Drapion. I'd have to double check the simulations. Because like I said, these battles happen at the beginning of March. So he does bring in that Shadow Beedrill and we go down because we got debuffed with the crunch. And things are not looking good. I am going to bring in my Beedrill. I bring in Umbreon. You madman, Chuck. And I'm going to go straight for the last resort. Does my opponent shoot it up or let it go? He lets it go. Then he swaps into his Alolan Raticate and I answer with Beedrill. So things are starting. We have some hope. There is some hope here. If I can play this correctly, we should be able to win because I'm up 2 shields. So here I am going to shield up and it's the crunch. Hopefully we don't get debuffed again because that would not be good. And then right here, I do think I shield up again. I think I just used both shields on Beedrill. No, I let it go through because I think his Beedrill might have enough energy and I actually am able to Poison Jab down and we have 2 charge moves back to back. We have one. Here comes the second one, and this is going to be so close. Are we able to take it out? His Beedrill survives on 1 HP in a dream, and we actually go down with a shield, and I can't believe it. Dang. GG's, homie. Well played. And now jumping into this next battle, we catch a negative lead up against Beware. And let me tell you guys, I absolutely hated Beware in this meta simply because it's actually really good. And I didn't run it. Low-key salty. But I remember this battle. I think I called the bait here. And there it is. There's a stomp. And then I should have shielded here. But I think I actually let this go through. There's a superpower. And then he dips. So then I answer with Politoed as well. So now we got another Shadow versus Shadow matchup. I do shield up because you guys seen how much damage that it will actually do. And this is like a high attack battle right here. They're both doing super effective and they're both very spammy. Politoed is very spammy with Mud Shot and Drapion is very spammy with the Poison Sting. So he does let it go down. That way he can keep 2 shields and he brings in the Ampharos. Now here, I didn't charge up all the way to the Earthquake, but I'm hoping that he thinks I did. So we could take a shield and there it is. And then we're actually able to get to another Weather Ball because Mud Shot users are broken. And that did so much damage, bro, which is crazy. And I bring in Umbreon for like a mini back-to-back play, I guess, just because we had the foul play. And we take the last shield. And now I'm hoping that I could get to either another one, but he is going to throw the energy with the Thunder Punch and take us out. And now I am putting everything on Blastoise. And I'm actually going to let this go through because Blastoise can take a Thunder Punch. And we're going to Water Gun down and then that Beware is still alive, but we do get enough energy. And I saved that shield just in case the Beware was able to get to like a stomp or something. We hit him with that Hydro Cannon and we take battle number 2. GG's, homie. Well played. Well played indeed. And now jumping into the final round up against Smalls. Whoever wins this battle takes the round because we are tied. And we actually catch a negative lead. A Shadow Beedrill up against Umbreon, but he does swap out into his Raticate. And I'm so up ahead on energy that I can actually just stay in here and go straight for these last resorts. I do have to be careful with the return, but Umbreon is just such a tank. And I am up ahead on energy that I could just stay in this battle. But I actually swap into my Shadow Politoed, which was, I think it was a big mistake. Now that I'm looking at this battle, I think I should have just stayed in there with Umbreon. I think bringing in my Shadow Politoed right now was probably a bad mistake because I was up ahead on shields. But I guess at the moment I remembered that, you know, the Alolan Raticate beats Umbreon, but I was up ahead on energy. So I don't know. I probably should have just stayed in there with Umbreon and then kept my Blastoise for the Beedrill. Because Blastoise does beat Beedrill. I think even Shadow Politoed with energy. I mean, yeah. I think that was a big mistake. But now I am going to bring in my Blastoise. But the Beedrill it's got a lot of energy. So it is going to threaten us with back-to-back charge moves. And I have to shield it up. I got to shield it up because things are not looking good. He actually brings in the Cast Form, which is a nice pick too. That is a spicy pick. I do like the Cast Form with Tackle because Tackle got that nice little buff. So, and Cast Form's getting Stab with the Tackle. So that was actually really good. And it's all up to Umbreon. I made that big mistake. I should have just stayed in with Umbreon. And now he could just get these tackles off. And I'm over farming here because I know that Beedrill is in the back. And I even undercharge here because I knew he wasn't going to shield. But we still were able to take it out. And if I can get to back-to-back foul plays, I might be able to take out this Beedrill. We should be taking a shield here. And then we CMP Tie at the very end. It was like in the last round with Renton. We CMP Tie and the Shadow Beedrill beats Umbreon. And we go down. GG's, homie. Well played. Well played indeed. And now jumping into round number 4, we're going up against Warrior J-Mac 5. And we catch a pretty bad lead up against the Ariados here. But thankfully for us, his Ariados is actually running Infestation instead of Poison Sting. So it is a little bit better for us because the Infestation isn't doing as much damage as the Poison Sting would. Poison Sting would have been getting that stab, super effective damage. So that is good for us because we can actually stay in this battle a little bit longer and threaten. This should be taking a shield or taking it out. We take the shield. And now at this point, I'm actually going to be okay with letting Dedenne go down. I love you, Dedenne. You're still the MVP. And then I'm actually going to bring in Blastoise here because we're up on shields. And Blastoise can tank any one move from Ariados. It should be a lunge. Yeah, I would have done the same thing. Go for a last, move. Go for that lunge, debuff it. But because Ariados is out of the way, I'm actually going to be able to bring in Umbreon. Because I knew once Ariados was out of the way, I'm up on shields. Even if Beware was in the back and we baited it out, I knew we were going to be okay because Umbreon is just a tank. I'm up on shields. And he brings in the Munchlax. Now, I did double check the matchup with Munchlax versus Umbreon. And Umbreon actually beats Munchlax. So earlier I said that Munchlax beats Umbreon, but I was remembering incorrectly. Because like I said, these battles happened at the very beginning of the month. And Umbreon actually beats Munchlax. So I did bring in Umbreon to sweep up. Even if the Beware was in the back, that pesky Beware, I absolutely hate that thing just because it's so good. And I should have ran it too because it is a good pick. Beware was a good pick for this meta. And I go for this cool little back-to-back combo play with Blastoise. And this should just go for that Kamehameha. Bang. One shot the Shadow Luxray. And then the Munchlax is going to come back in. But at this moment, it's pretty much GG's. We water gun down and take battle number 1. GG's, homie. Well played. Well played indeed. And now jumping into this next battle, I am going in with the same exact team, and I'm leading Dedenne, and we catch the Beware on the lead. So he does swap out into his Ariados, and I bring in Blastoise, and things are looking good. I want to keep Dedenne as far away from Ariados as possible and keep it aligned to the Beware. Now, Blastoise should be taking a shield here. Even though we're debuffed, it still does a lot of damage, but my opponent actually lets it go through. And I'm not gonna shield. I'm gonna save my shields either for Dedenne or double shield the Umbreon, because Umbreon with shields is like scary. So I'm gonna do a crazy play here. I'm actually gonna bring in Dedenne because I know that we can take a cross poison. I know Dedenne's good. It's an MVP. And I actually Thunder Shock down the Ariados. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have been Thunder Shocking down so many Pokemon in this tournament that it's crazy. I Thunder Shock down like 2 different Alolan Raticates. I just Thunder Shock down the Ariados. Dedenne's a beast, guys. I'm telling y'all. Now, I do swap out Dedenne. We took a shield, and I bring in Umbreon because, like I said, Umbreon with shield advantage is pretty scary. He goes straight for the superpower, and he's going to go for back-to-back superpowers, and I am going to double shield Umbreon because I want to preserve the health for whatever he has in the bag. And it's a Politoed. So Politoed is very spammy, but Umbreon is just a tank, and you guys know this to be true. It's not new information. Umbreon is just a beast. So now here I'm going to go for the foul play bait, and he didn't shield. So that was interesting that he didn't shield. And Umbreon is still in the green. Even if he gets 2 earthquakes, we should be able to survive 2 earthquakes. And then I actually bring in, I was trying to catch there, and we're actually going to be able to get to a discharge and take the shield or take it out. We take the final shield, and then Umbreon's going to come back in, but he is going to be able to get to another earthquake. And this is a crazy outcome. We actually survived an earthquake, and I go for this last resort, hit him with that bang, bang, bang. GG's, homie. Well played. Well played indeed. And now jumping into the final battle, I am going in with a little bit of a different team. I don't bring in Dedenne this time, and instead I bring the Shiny Shadow Politoed, and we catch the Ariados. Now, this is not that great of a matchup, just because the Ariados keeps debuffing us, but Politoed still hits pretty hard, and we should be able to outpace, which we do. We get to another Weather Ball here, and this is going to get the Ariados really low, but we still weren't able to KO it, and I think I just let it go. I think I just let Politoed go down, because now I can bring in either Umbreon or Blastoise, I guess. I bring in Blastoise to farm down just to get ahead on energy. Yeah, I think that was a good call, because Blastoise takes a while to get to its charge moves, especially things like Skull Bash, which I actually think I'm going for. Now here, I shield up the Earthquake, I charge up, and I get to the Skull Bash. Now, does my opponent think I'm going to bait with the Hydro Cannon? Bang! They let it go, and we rank up, we get our defense boosted, and he does bring in the Beware. Now here I can actually let anything go through because our defense was boosted a little bit, so we're a little bit bulkier, and Hydro Cannons are definitely gonna hurt. So this should be taking a shield. There you go. We take 1 shield, and we get to, oh, I swap into Umbreon. I'm gonna bank the Hydro Cannon. I bank the Hydro Cannon, and then I bring in the Umbreon, and we get to a foul play. I'm actually surprised I didn't shield. This is the first time I'm seeing these battles, guys. Like, I haven't seen these battles since I finished the tournament, and then when I put everything together. So it feels like I'm watching these battles for the first time. I actually bring in the Blastoise with that Hydro Cannon that I had banked, and we lag at the very end. Dun, dun, dun. Bang. Bang, bang. And we take round number 4. GG's, homie. Well played as usual. And now jumping into the championship rounds, round number 5, we're going up against Ed, and that was a weird little glitch there. Did you guys see that? That was like, I don't know, such a weird little glitch, but hey, it's Pokemon Go, so we encounter a lot of glitches around here. Now, right off the bat, we catch a negative lead, and I swap in Blastoise, but he answers with Dedenne. So this is very terrible. This is no bueno for Chuck. We're in a bad spot, but we know we can take a discharge. Now here, I think I remember I misplayed. I should have threw the Hydro Cannon right away. Oh man, and we're actually gonna go down. I don't know why I didn't throw the Hydro Cannon right away. It looked like I was trying to get to the Skull Bash. So I don't know. That was a big misplay on my part. I should have threw the Hydro Cannon. That way we could either take a shield or get the Dedenne really low on health. So that was a big misplay on my part. And even here, we weren't even able to knock out the Dedenne, so I actually use a shield. And yeah, things are not looking good. This is definitely no bueno for Chuck because the Lapras comes back in and that thing is bulky. And I feel like Lapras is the better Skull Bash user for this meta. But Blastoise, I don't know. I like Blastoise with the Hydro Cannon. So I don't know. That's a tough decision. And it's a decision that I feel like you couldn't go wrong. You can't go wrong either going with Lapras or with Blastoise. But yeah, I still feel like Lapras might have been the better Skull Bash user. But I don't know. I like the Hydro Cannon. And looking at these battles again, I would have switched my team up around a little bit. Like I think I would have used Samurott instead of Politoed. But it's all good. And we actually go down in battle number 1. GG's, homie. Well played. And now jumping into the next battle, I am going in with a little bit of a different team. I still bring in the Politoed and we catch a negative lead up against the Dedenne. But if you guys do remember, Politoed can still threaten these electric types. We do have the Earthquake, so I am going to shield up once and I am going to bait with the Weather Ball. Now, does my opponent respect the Earthquake or does he let it go through? He does respect it. And we should be able... No, we actually don't. And I had a feeling. So that's why I tried to throw the Weather Ball. But I wasn't able... I don't even think we CMP tied there. I think the Dedenne just got to it before we did. And then here now we are having a Beedrill mirror match. And this is still no bueno for Chuck because Shadow Beedrill does beat regular Beedrill. And then I actually let this go through thinking that it was going to be a bait. And we get to our own drill run. So does my opponent respect the drill run or do they let it go? He is going to let it go. And then I'm trying to swap into the Alolan Raticate. I'm tapping away because shields are down. And Alolan Raticate is about to eradicate. That didn't rhyme. But when shields are down, Alolan Raticate can go to town. We are going to get to this return. Bang. That does a lot of damage, bro. Even up against Lapras. Lapras is such a tank. And now here I think I actually let it go through. Yeah, we let the Surf go through because Raticate is just such a tanky little Pokemon. Tanky, it's such a little bulky, fat thing. And I am going to... I should have overfarmed a little bit there. Yeah, I should have got maybe 2 more quick attacks and then threw the crunch. But... the Dedenne is coming in, and I make this amazing catch onto my Beedrill. That was a sick catch. I think Ed even told me, bro, that was a crazy catch. And we actually get to the return, and this should be one-shotting the Dedenne. If I didn't make that catch, I wouldn't have been able to take battle number 2. So, man, GG's, homie. Well played. That was a really good game. Well played. And now jumping into the final battle of the final round. It's the championship round, baby. We're both tied at this moment. So whoever wins this battle is going to win the round. And we get I guess a positive lead. He does swap into Umbreon and I answer with the Alolan Raticate. Because supposedly Alolan Raticate is supposed to beat Umbreon with return. However, I do remember this battle and I remember the Umbreon getting us really, really low. So, I don't know. At least on paper, the Alolan Raticate is actually a really good matchup up against Umbreon. Or maybe I have to bait with the crunch. I mean, I don't know. I don't really remember the matchups anymore. Because like I said, these battles happened at the very beginning of March. And we are actually able to get to the return. Now, does my opponent shield up or let it go? They do let it go down. And they are going to keep shield advantage. And they bring in a Beedrill. But we're not going to go down until we get off this crunch. Now, does he want to shield up or let it go? He shields it up, and we don't get the debuff. Of course not. Not I, said the fly, not Chuck. And we actually CMP tied to the Weather Ball here. And he hits us with the next scissor, and that did so much damage, bro. That's crazy. Shadow Beedrill was just a monster in this meta. And then we take his final shield, and we CMP Tie yet again. So here, do I shield up or let it go? I actually let it go. And knowing what he's running in the back, I think I should have shielded that. I should have got the Beedrill out of there, because now I'm going to use up my shield. And he does bring in the Lapras. So it's going to be a Skull Bash, Showdown. And I do get to it first, so we are going to raise our defense, which is pretty good for us. But I am shieldless, so it's not looking good. We took a lot of damage from the Beedrill. I should have shielded up the Politoed when we CMP tied, just to get it out of there. And then bring in Blastoise. I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section how that matchup probably should have went. But we actually go down. GG's, homie. Well played. Well played indeed. And congratulations to the winners of the tournament. It actually ended in a 4-way tie, which is pretty crazy. And the winners were David, Katanas, Renton, and Kaiser. So congratulations, my fellow Pokemon trainers. And shout out to everybody who did participate. Everybody's there on the left, including myself. And I actually went 2-3. I mean, I didn't, this is not that great, but at least I got my bronze trophy in the Silph arena. So at least I got the bronze. It's all good. And nobody actually 3-0'd me, so that's a plus as well. The competition was fierce, and the battles were amazing. I hope you all enjoyed the battles as much as I did. So I didn't get swept, which, was pretty good. But yeah, I'm proud of my Pokemon, and everybody did amazing. And that is gonna do it for this video, guys. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next one, in the battlefield or in the ring. Ding ding. Peace out, my fellow Pokemon trainers.